Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a video on installing the Spartan Doctrine kit into the GNGG96. This will be like a two-part video. One part will be the installing of the actual unit, and then the other part will be the drilling of the nozzle and the power bolt, and then installing that. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I started by removing the actual hop-up unit. This is called the hop-up chamber, and then this is the actual hop-up unit. I've removed that from the receiver. It's very basic. Or just remove 2 pins. You'll see that in my other videos if you don't know how to do that yourself. There's an O-ring right here. I'm going to peel it back, and then this is the only thing keeping the inner barrel and the unit inside of the actual hop-up chamber. And then you just slide that out along with the O-ring. And then here you have the O-ring and then the hop-up chamber. And we'll set those two things aside. And then basically this whole unit right here, this whole thing, we don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to put this aside. And I'm going to unpackage the Spartan Doctrine chamber. It comes in a nice silver package. Looks like a Ziploc package. Yes. And then I'm going to take this out. Now this comes with a new barrel plug. Let me see this. This barrel plug allows the inner barrel to go all the way through it. It's very good, but I won't have use for this barrel plug since I cut down my outer barrel, and I don't have like the inner diameter isn't big enough for this. So for now, for me, this is useless. You'll see here. I'll open up the bag. This is the new VSR style hop-up chamber, and then inside of this smaller baggie is the nozzle. Here's the hop-up bar, and here's a tool to install the nozzle. Or no. Here's the hop-up bar, I believe. One of them is the hop-up bar, and another thing I believe is something to keep the unit inside of the hop-up chamber. And then there should be the installing tool inside of here as well. So I also ordered right here, where'd this go? This is a Falcon hop-up bucking. I got these parts on eHobby Asia. There was like 10% off or 5% off or something, and I ended up getting all these for like around $40. It's a very good deal, considering eBike sells the Spartan Doctrine conversion kit for $65. When I got these, I had to wait 2.5 weeks, which is kind of unpleasant, but the price, you really can't beat it. So this is the bucking I'm using. This is the Falcon 75-degree bucking for the VSR 10s. Now this is kind of like a Firefly style hop-up bucking, if you know what I mean. It has the V. I'm gonna try to show you this. Okay. If you look inside of there, you can see that there is 2 protrusions, like a V style hop-up, like the Firefly. This provides 2 points of contact on the BB. Very good. So I'm actually pretty happy about this bucking. I wasn't sure what the inner mound was going to look like. I also have, where did that go? I also have an Echo 1 M28 inner barrel that I will go retrieve really quickly. Alright guys, so this is the inner barrel, Echo 1 M28 inner barrel. This is 6.01. This is an Airsoft GI brand. I got this on eBay for $38 shipped. Pretty good deal. Considering every other website is out of stock. This is 515 millimeters, which is about 20.5 inches. I mentioned that I would have this length of an inner barrel. And I cut down my outer barrel to be around 20.5 inches as well to fit this inner barrel. So hopefully I cut it right. Now I'm going to install the bucking onto this. Usually some people like to use some kind of lubrication. I probably won't. I'm sure a little bit of silicone oil is fine. Now, like, a lot of people usually make such a big fuss that installing these buckings is hard, but it's not. You just have to look inside of it and look where the mound is, and then line it up with the barrel window, and then it should go on very easily. And then when you have it on, you can check, just push down and make sure that it's on. See, mine wasn't totally on. I just moved it over a little bit, and now it is good. Now I'm going to have to put a little silicone on this because these buckings will dry up. Alright, so I've got my silicone oil. This is actually the one that came with my propane adapter. I've been using this for a really long time. Just going to give one drop on here and massage it into the bucking. You don't want it to be over silicone lube because it will mess with your accuracy. But you want a little bit, and it'll help you slide it into the actual unit here. This is kind of a tight fit, so be patient. You don't want to rip your bucking, and just kind of just like let it guide it into the chamber. It'll go in there eventually. See, this is a really tight fit. It barely wants to go in there. And then I'm gonna check from the top. Alright. Next step, I'm gonna have to install. Actually, one thing you want to see is you want to test this, see if this fits inside of your chamber real well. And this does. Sometimes you might have to cut down your bucking with scissors. See right here, if it protrudes out of the chamber too much, you'll have to cut it with scissors. This one didn't. Good for me. Alright, so next step. Pretty sure this actually came with instruction manual, or there is one. Might as well just take a look at it, so I don't mess up on accident. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it's nothing that instruction manual won't help. So this comes with an instruction manual. It gives you all the little detailed steps, and I'm going to see, what is this? Let's see. Insert VSR hopper. Install the spacer into the chamber. Alright, let me get the spacer. Now, one of these is the spacer. I assume the square one is the spacer. There's a square one and a long bar. This long bar is to keep the yeah. This long bar is actually supposed to sit like this. Alright, the long bar is supposed to sit like that to keep the rubber inside of the chamber. And then the square is going to go on top. And just sort of drop in just like this. Alright, yeah. The square really just drops in the top. Very good area, you'll see. And then I gotta get this bar back in. And then once you have both those pieces assembled in this, you can slide it back into your chamber. Where did my chamber go? Here's my chamber. Perfect. There's one issue that I want to kind of address as to how this actually will stay inside of the chamber. I assume that when the hop-up is adjusted downwards, it will keep this whole unit inside of the chamber, because there's no little notch for that rubber band anymore. So hopefully, what I'm saying is, it'll keep itself inside. So I'm going to go ahead and install this back into the gun. Gotta pull the bolt back. And just right up. See, unadjust the hop up real quickly. And I have to unadjust that. See, this is sitting a little bit low. Hopefully, this will work. Yes. Alright, well, you basically just need to put the pins back. I'm gonna do this with both hands in concentration. Thank you. Alright guys, so I have my the front of my bolt disassembled. I show the entire power bolt disassembly in another video, so just go watch that. I also took out the rubber seal gasket right here, because when I'm drilling this nozzle out, I don't want little shards of metal to get all up in the rubber. So I removed that, and then this is going to the drill press right now. Alright guys, so I just finished drilling out the original nozzle. I used a 1/4 drill bit. I believe it's 1/4 inch drill bit. And I just drilled just so that I had maybe like it's probably like 4 millimeters of area into the actual bolt, and my nozzle actually fits just perfectly in there. I bought some metal epoxy, or there's a brand called JB Weld or Cold Weld. They're all about the same thing. They just bond metal to metal, and I'm going to do that after I clean off this bolt, so I'll show you guys that. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to epoxy the parts in place. Here I have some Loctite brand metal epoxy. I don't want to put too much because you really don't need a lot for this. The black, the hardener, and then the white, the resin. Or the other way around, not sure, whatever. It says put equal amounts. Alright, then cap it back up. And then I have some, let's go, here they are. Alright, so black and white. Gonna mix up the resin and the hardener. Until it's metallic grayish, which it says it should be. See, this is already hardening on me. You can smell it reacting. Alright, just gonna take a little bit of it on your Q-tip. I've already roughened up the surface of this because this nozzle is very smooth. It says roughen up the surface for better adhesion. Roughened it up a little bit with some sandpaper, and then just give a layer of this metal epoxy. You don't need too much, and you don't want to put too much on because you don't want it to squeeze out all over the place. But you want to get it a good amount. See, mine's already drying on me. And then just press it into the area. Trying to get it evenly distributed before it dries. Now you can just press it into that little semi-hole that you drilled. Now I've already assembled this bolt, the bolt face, back onto the nozzle for a reason. I'm actually going to let this dry inside of the gun, which a fellow YouTuber suggested to me. So we're just gonna insert the bolt into here. So this way the bolt can dry along with the nozzle. Now you don't want to push it all the way in because the nozzle might be too long for the actual gun, but you just want to let the bolt sit inside of here. See, my nozzle is definitely too long. It may have damaged my butt. Hopefully not. Let me check. Alright, everything's still good. Yes, the nozzle will probably be too long, but you know, just slide it in there like so and just let it sit. And then when the glue dries, I'm going to give it a full day before I actually do anything with it. Then you should be good. So basically, I mean, I made a pretty simplified video, but that's how you install the entire Spartan Doctrine kit, including the nozzle. So all there is left is shortening the nozzle, which you can either do on a bench grinder, which I will be doing, or on a, whatchamacallit, or just with a saw and some sandpaper, but you want to make sure it's smooth in the end, so that it doesn't damage the BBs when it's loading into the chamber. So that was the installation of the Spartan Doctrine kit by 2Roy. I mean, yeah, the 2RoySpartan Doctrine VSR kit. It is a copy of the King Arms one, much cheaper, pretty decent, and thanks for watching, guys.